So this workout is a very different workout from my other circuit type of workouts. It is going to be a circuit, however, it is going to be a much slower pace. We're going to focus on our deep, slow diaphragmatic breath. We're going to work on our pelvic floor and engaging our center, middle and side cores, muscles, that inner core muscle, okay? So we're going to focus on all of that throughout the exercises. So to begin with, I'm just going to show you our diaphragmatic breath, okay? So if you have your tummy, whatever way it is, okay? The best way to get back or get your tummy muscles strong again is through your breath, okay? So expanding your tummy and your lungs, okay? Okay, so you're going to take a big deep breath in and your tummy expands, okay? It's normal, okay? And then when we breathe out, we're engaging up our pelvic floor and inner core muscles. So we're going to breathe out, breathe in, everything expands, and breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose, and out through your mouth. Okay, that's normal breathing for the postpartum recovery to work on the inner core muscles, pelvic floor. Okay, so we're going to take a big deep breath in, and on the out breath, we're pulling up our pelvic floor, zipping up the inner core muscles. Breathe in, tummy expands, and breathe out. To get that corset ribs that you'd like, you're going to need to do that breath. Okay, so these exercises are all going to disguise that breath and to work on it as well. Anything that's going to be moving away from the center core, your arms or legs, okay, limbs moving away from the core, you are working your core muscles. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of that. So first exercise, all right, is going to be our wall sit. Now it is a hard one to begin with, I guess, but it's nice and slow, which makes it actually harder too, but you can take it at your pace and your level, all right? So you can do this with or without the band, all right? It's fine without the band, but I have a band. If you don't have a band, that's fine, but if you do have a band, pop it on over the knees, up in the middle of the quad. Okay, you're going to sit down against the wall, push your lower back into the wall, and remember that breath that we did, okay? You can also have some light weights in your hands. These are 2 kg weights. You could have no weights as well. All right, I'll demonstrate it without the weights as well. So we're going to sit down, bring your bum down nice and low. Your hips should be level with your knees, all right? Your feet are on the floor, your lower back pushed into the wall, okay? You're going to leave your weights where they are first. We're going to focus on the breath. Take a big deep breath in, and your tummy expands, and then breathe out. You're pushing out that band, okay, keeping it out. Breathe in, tummy expands, and breathe out. Squeeze everything up, and in. Okay, introduce the arms up and over. Breathe in, arms up, and out. Breathe in. Breathe in, our tummy expands, and breathe out. We're going to bring the weights down. One more. Excellent. Bring it away from the wall. You're going to drop the weights out of your hand, okay? If you have them, drop away the band, wriggle it out. All right, drop away the band and move it out of your way for now. Our next exercise is going to be our quadruped, okay? Quadruped meaning 4 limbs working here. So we're going to be down on all 4s to begin with, all right? And we are, just like, see if I have enough space there behind me. We're going to be focusing your gaze just slightly ahead of your mat, and maybe about a half meter ahead of you, okay? This exercise is opposite hand and leg, so if we're going to have a right hand and left leg to begin with, you're going to be extending away from the body. And the extending away from the body, swap hands and legs. we are going to be working our inner cores, okay? This time, let's introduce the breath, okay? The tummy drops down with our in breath and out breath. Point the toe down at the back. The fingers are spanned out nicely on the mat, okay? Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Push into the mat. Bring it back to neutral like this to begin with. Each rep. Core is down for our out breath and out. Away for our in for our out breath. Breathe in. Engage pelvic floor, clench your glute muscles as well. Find your own rhythm. And smile. Let's do one more each side. Tummy expands, drops down, and breathe in or breathe out. Clenching up everything. Excellent. It's a real neurosensory exercise when we have to turn on our brains to focus on our breath. Grab a little drink of water if you need one. And much the word pace, as I said. Next one, guys, we're going to do is our glute bridge. We're going to have a little ball or a block or a cushion is fine. All right, a book even is grand as well, a kid's book or something. You're going to put this in between your quads again, so above your knees or just at your knees, really, just at your knees, okay? And we're going to go into our glute bridge, okay? So that is hips up high. All right, your hands are down on the ground for now. And we're going to go down, hover off your hands and bring the hips up nice and high. Now we're going to introduce a ball squeeze. When we push your hips up high, squeeze the ball. Now, try now introduce our breath, okay? We're going to breathe out and squeeze the ball, raise the hips at the same time. Breathe in. Okay, so breathe in, drop it down, hover off the ground, and breathe out. Engaging pelvic floor, zipping up the inner core as you squeeze and bring your hips up. Okay, down. Breathe in, hips drop down, breathe out, clench the ball. Squeeze up the pelvic floor, breathe in. Let's do two more. Squeeze and drop it down. Take your ball from between your legs, go over to your side, and we are going to bring it into all fours again. And if you have a foam roller, okay, most people do nowadays. I think since COVID, everyone has everything at home. So we're going to have our we're going to have our foam roller underneath your calves or underneath your knees, all right? Now, if you don't have a foam roller, that's absolutely fine. You're going to be just in hover, hold, and you can be moving your ankles forwards and backwards, okay? But if you have the foam roller, you're going to have your knees, all right? You're going to be on hover plank, okay? So your hands are holding yourself up, okay? Fingers are wide and spread out, okay? And you're going to take a big deep breath in, and your tummy drops, and then you bring your knees a little bit closer to your chest. So it's a little mini tuck. Breathe in, tummy expands. Zip up the inner core, pull up your pelvic floor. So your foam roller goes from your knees to your ankles. Do 2 more. Need to adjust. Need to readjust there. Excellent. And we're going to bring that away. Now your arms might be a little bit tired after that one, okay? So our next one, guys, is our band pull apart dead bugs, okay? Now you can also call them heel drops. So now I have 2 different types of bands. So we got these big, long, elasticy ones, all right? They can be picked up very cheaply from Amazon. Wrap it around 3 times off one hand, 3 times on the other to tighten the actual pull on it, all right? And we're going to be in a dead bug, okay? So if you can picture a dead cockroach, all right? You're going to have your legs as if they're dead, okay? So if you haven't done this exercise before, a dead bug is so good for your core, okay? Dead bugs without the band, and if you don't have a band, that's absolutely grand as well. It's opposite hand and leg, drops at the same time, all right? Or extends away from the core with the breath, all right? So, okay, so we're going to be in our hands up straight, all right? Now you're going to be expanding the band as you drop one leg straight down, okay, and then the opposite every second one. Now the one thing you need to remember here is we are postpartum, okay? Most people who are going to be doing this exercise with me, okay, is our postpartum ladies. So you have to be very careful that your core is ready for this. So if your leg extension fully down is too hard for your core yet, just do a heel tap. All right, I'll demonstrate that. So you're in a dead bug position. You're just going to tap your heel off the floor as you extend the arms. All right. So heel tap is regression, or we have full leg extension if you're ready, okay? Now, we'll start. We're going to take a deep breath in for our cores, okay? And we're going to expand, extend, and drop our tummy, and clench everything in basically with our out breath, okay? So, breathe in and out. To regress it, if you're feeling a little bit tired, you bring your heel to the floor. keeping the other leg up high, okay? Knee is bent. Try not to have your legs up straight or too far close to your chest. You need to have the knee and your hips in line, okay? Let's bring 2 more. Excellent. Roll over to your side. Drop your bands off. Unravel. Okay. And our last exercise, guys, is going to be a high kneeling block squeeze, lean back. All right. So block squeeze. Again, cushion, a book, all works absolutely perfectly. So you're going to be in high kneeling, all right? Be comfortable where you are. And you're going to have your block here in prayer position. And you're going to take a breath in, your tummy expands. And on the out breath, we're going to squeeze the block, your book or your cushion, and you're going to lean back for as long as your breath goes out. Engaging core and pelvic floor up, all right? So it's a tricky one to really think, but it's so effective, all right? So really squeeze that block. Breathe in, tummy expands, and breathe out. Smile. Breathe in, tummy expands. Breathe out. Lean back. Squeeze the block. Let's do 2 more. Last one, squeeze the block on the way back. Tummy expands. And that is it, ladies. Get up slowly or take a seat if not, okay, if you're a little bit dizzy, like me right now actually. All works well with your breath. All of that is so important for getting your tummies back into shape and also to actually just build that strength. We do a lot of carrying every day with babies, toddlers, lugging of lots of things in our hands all the time, always spinning plates. So it's so important to have a good strong core, and we can only work on it using our breath, okay? So it's so important to do our breathing exercises in that way that we just practice in all of our exercises with the belly, tummy expanding, okay? And on the out breath, zipping up pelvic floor and the inner core muscles, okay? I have helped so many moms get back into shape over the last couple of years, so it is working, it does work, so you can do it too. Enjoy the workout.